In this video, we are going to discuss about the function in JavaScript. First of all, let's create here the new file and I'll give it the name as function.html and I will use here the boilerplates to get the default HTML code. And I will change here document into the function function in JS. And after that, I will create here the script tag inside the body section. And I'll write here the function code and many more things. First of all, let's understand about the what is function and why we need the function. So, if you see the definition here, function is it's a simple block of code. It is a block of code, right? It is simply the block of code, and especially designed to perform a specific task. It means it is a block of code to perform a specific tasks, right? So it means that you have the remote for the television, and if you press on the power options or the power button, then the power on button will power on the television and power off button power off the television. That means that power on and power off button there is a function in the power on and power off button, so that function will work there, right? So likewise, you have the mobile phone, and there is also the power on and off options and many more things. So it means that function is it is a block of code, and it will execute the code inside its block, right? So in a programming language, there is a block of code, and when we call the function, then only it will execute. And if you are familiar with this C, C++, Java, there is a main function, and the executions flow will start from the main function. But if you create the user-defined function, it means if you create any functions by yourself, then that function must be called outside of that function, right? So if you don't call the function, then that function won't execute here. So first of all, okay, let's start our coding part from here. This is all about the theory part. Now, if I create here the function syntax, this is the function keyword. And as you know that JavaScript is a case-sensitive language, so if it make the function f as caps letter, then this word goes here. So you must have to write the function keyword at first. And after that, you can write your function name. I'm writing here the function name as my function. Okay, before that, let's understand about the camel case and then the Pascal case. This is in the camel case. It means that first letter of each word is small. And after that, second letter of second word, that is caps. And this is the camel case, right? But if I make both M, also the caps letter, this is the camel case. This is the Pascal case, right? And you can create the function in JavaScript using the camel case or Pascal case. But most of the cases in JavaScript, we use the camel case to make the function. And if you want to make the function definition, it means you must have to use the parenthesis. If you don't use this parenthesis, we cannot call it as a function, right? This is the syntax of the function, but also we have the curly braces, right? This is the syntax of the function, how we can create function in JavaScript. And inside this parenthesis, we can call this small braces as the parenthesis in programming. So inside this parenthesis, we can put the parameter, and the parameter will get the value from the argument when we call the function. We'll discuss it later. Just now, before that, this function is keyword, this my function is my function name, and this is the parenthesis, right? And if you talk about this curly braces, this is the block of code. And the executable code will inside this function. It means this TXECU TBL executable code. If we call this function, then this code will execute from here, right? And to call the function, we have to simply use the function name, and we have to use the parenthesis, and we can use the semicolon here, right? So if I use this my function, this means I'm calling this function. And if I want to pass the parameters from here, then I can pass the parameter. Like if I want to pass the number, then I can simply write here a. And inside this function, I can do the operation for the a, right? I can return the value of a, or I can add the value of a with the other number or anything else, right? So this is all about the function. So first of all, now let's see the real example. Like if I want to add the two number, then I can pass here the two number like 1, 2, and I will remove this comment from here, and I can write here the a comma b. This means a and b is the parameter, and 1 comma 2 this is the argument. And when I call this function by using the function name, this function will receive the value of a as 1 and value of b as 2. And as you know that the JavaScript is not strictly typed programming language, or you can say that JavaScript is non-typed programming language. So it means that we do not have to specify this 1 is the number value and this 2 is also the number value. It will automatically find out that a and b, it means 1 and 2, this is actually the number, right? Number data type. So if inside this I can return the value from here, like the return and then the a plus b. And you have to understand here one thing. If I return this value a plus b, this will goes into the calling function, right? It means this is the calling function and this is the call function. So it means that it will return the value a plus b. That is 1 plus 2, that is 3. And 3 value will goes into the inside this my function. So if I want to print this value, then I can just create the variable and then the array as well, the result equal to my function. And also I can print here the result by using the document dot write. And if I type here the result, then this result will produce the value of 3. First of all, let's click on the go live options. This code is running here. You can see this 3 is my output. Now you can see 3 is my output. Or you cannot, or you can return, you can display value here also. If I want to display value here, then I do not want to return this value. So document dot write, and inside this document dot write, I can paste this a plus b inside this document dot write. Now, if I go to the 3 and then the undefined, it means the result is undefined because it won't return anything from this function, so it won't get anything. So it define it produces undefined as result here from this document dot write, right? So I can remove this from here, and I can remove this from here because I won't get anything. This function won't return here. This function is displaying the output here, so it will produce the 3 result here, right? So why we need the function? So if I want to write the any code, like the 100 times, 10,000 times, many more times, if I want to add 2 number, then I can just pass the 1 comma 2. If I want to add 3 comma 4, then also I can just copy this function. And if I want to add the 5 comma 2, then it will produce the 7. And if I need the break line here, then I can just type here the document dot write, and then inside this I can use the br tag to bring the line, right? And I got this break line here 3 and then the 7. So I was asking you to the question that why we need the function in programming. So it means that if I want to print, like let's say another example. So I'm just putting these things inside the comment section. So if I want to wish happy birthday to my friend, then I have to write here the happy birthday, and then today is my Ram birthday. Then I can say here happy birthday Ram, and this is the output. And if tomorrow is another person birthday, or if I want to write here the same thing for the Ori also, then also I have to write the happy birthday and main text here, and then the at last Ram, right? So this is the simple message. And if I want to wish another person, then also I have to write all these things. This is not only the happy birthday. If you imagine that there is a 1,000th line of code, then I have to write all these things again, and then at last I can just have to change the name. So it means that I can use here the break line also. So it means that if I want to repeat the code, then I can just use the function. So how can I use the function? It means we have already discussed about the function here. So if I create the function and then the happy birthday, and inside this happy birthday, I can just receive the name, right? I can just receive the name from here, and I will display here the document dot write, and I'll write here all the things here I need to write for the happy birthday and many more things. And after that, I'll just display the name here, right? I do not need to write in this way. I can just call this function by using the happy birthday. This is function name. And if today is Ram birthday, then I can just write here the Ram, and it will display automatically Ram here. I don't need to change this happy birthday and many messages over here, right? And if today's birthday is Binay birthday, right? Happy birthday. And if today's birthday is Binay birthday, then I can just write here the happy birthday Binay, right? And also I can use here the break line. So now you can see happy birthday Binay. And if another person birthday is today, then I can just copy and I can just call this function. I don't need to write everything from there, from the scratch. In this way, you can use the function, and also you have to understand about why we need to use a function in programming. So especially this is all about the JavaScript function, and there is a different syntax in other programming language. If you are familiar with the C programming language, then there is a wait, main, and then the function name, right? But here in JavaScript, we have to use the function keyword to use or to make the function name, right? So in this way, you can use the function in JavaScript. If you get any confusion regarding this video, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you so very much.